Started. Do this pledge, please. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Need to silence your phones, please. Today is Monday, December the 4th, 2017. The time is 5 p.m. Meeting of the Greensburg Board of Works is called to order. At this time, please silence electronic devices. To comply with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the city requests that participants in this meeting complete a voluntary anonymous survey that is available on the table in the back of the room. Roll call, please. Ashley.
Carol Perkins. Here. Rick Enzeller.
Here.
Glenn Petty.
Here.
Daryl Foley.
Here.
Okay. Did everybody receive the minutes from November 6, 2017? And is there any adds, ends, subtractions? Everything look okie-dokie?
I move approval of the minutes.
Okay. Is there here a second?
Second.
Okay. Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Old business, the alley off of West Street, we haven't got the survey back yet, so we can't discuss it, or shouldn't discuss it until we find out exactly where the boundary lines are.
Move to table.
Okay. I need a second on that.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Hopefully next month we'll have some. New business, Bridget.
First thing I have is the selection for the 21st officer that will begin January the 2nd.
We've interviewed several.
So I will make a move that we take number one.
Okay. That'll work.
Second.
Okay. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, the second thing on the agenda was added in a little bit late, my apologies, but it is for the recommendation for promotion to first class for Bryan Katterhenry, who came from us as a lateral from Jennings County Sheriff's Department. He has passed his 6-month probationary period with the police department at the end of November 2017. Therefore, I'm recommended that he begins the first class patrolman rank effective December 10th, 2017.
Okay.
Move we allow the promotion.
Okay. Second.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And the last thing I have is purchase of police cars for 2018. Provided everybody with a breakdown of what we are looking at doing. I guess, do we possibly want to switch the quote for the pickup to adding a third SUV instead of the pickup? Or my recommendation is why we're going for either the pickup would be for investigations or the SUVs is because what we're having trouble with getting vehicles through alleys. We've had to tow one because they're getting stuck because the alleys are in bad shape. So we're trying to get more of a high clearance vehicle to where we can get to some of these places. So, but I don't know what the mayor wants to do on.
Wait a minute,
sure I understood.
I initially put the quote down for, on the number 4 is a 2018 Dodge Ram pickup.
That's what I asked. The Ram was the pickup.
Right.
Okay. And the other three are all just,
2 are SUVs from Ford,
Yeah, I
and
see,
the
okay.
one is a Dodge Charger. And those are all at state bid prices, other than the Dodge Charger. The reason that price is higher is because that comes with all equipment included. The state bid on the Chargers was around $23,000. So, but that's why that price is a little bit higher, is just because it's comes fully equipped.
So where's Jones out of?
Salem, Indiana.
So the others that do not come equipped, you would put the additional cost on this then, or?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And how much is that?
Approximately each.
You're looking at about anywhere from 6 to 8,000, which I do have. It is added in with the debt service, the cars and everything, and I have begun, I've already purchased a couple of in-car cameras through WatchGuard and that, so that would all go into this 2018 budget through the in-car cameras, equipment, and debt services. So,
So then
but
that
there is money appropriated for all of that.
then that would take this price down to be comparable to the others then.
Correct.
but if you did an SUV, you would need pickup.
Correct. I think the mayor would like to see me go away from the pickup, so that's why I'm questioning if you want me to X out the pickup, and because I am up for rotation of 4 vehicles. So that's where, and I'm having to move out an investigations vehicle because that vehicle is going to go to the new K9 because we already have the kennel that will fit that 2013 Ford Explorer. So that's why the investigations is losing a car. But like I said,
Does that include, the investigation include these 4 out with your family?
yes, or no, it includes these 4. So, but like I said, if I need to change the pickup to an SUV, I can, and that money will still be available.
What's the advantage of the pickup over this?
The pickup, what we were thinking of is for evidence purposes of having to bring larger pieces of equipment or evidence back to the station, so, and we would put a camper shell on the pickup truck. But like I said, it's,
Pickup gives you a little more advantage than an SUV, but an SUV would load the stuff in the back.
and I fully agree, I do not believe that there is a necessary, I don't think pickups are necessary to be on patrol in the city of Greensburg. I completely agree with that. I mean, county, okay, but that was only my thinking, but like I said, if we want to switch out to an SUV, I can do that, and it will still be within, that will be the exact numbers, but.
What's your preference? What are the officers' preference? Would they rather have an SUV or a pickup?
It's a little bit of both, more lean towards SUVs and stuff and that, but like I said, it's,
How do you transport the larger evidence now?
state. If we have to call a state crime scene tech out, they can do it for us in that. But the problem we're running into with cars on what we're having to look for towards the future is the space, the size of the cars. Ford went away from the traditional Crown Vic was the perfect police car, and they brought in the Ford Taurus, and we can't fit in them. And that, I mean, we have some, we had to take the cages out just because we could not fit in those cars. I mean, even somebody without a full uniform on, they have trouble getting into those cars. So that's why we're kind of having to look towards the higher prices of SUVs is for the storage in that space.
Is your SUV a all-wheel drive or
Yes, it is an all-wheel drive. And unfortunately, that's one thing that Ford, the Crown Vics did not offer was all-wheel drive. If they offered the all-wheel drive, that'd be a perfect police car. But like I said, unfortunately, those are off the market now.
So if we drop the pickup, we would go with 3 of the SUVs then
Correct.
instead of and the one, you still want the one Charger, is that what
Yes.
you're saying?
Yes,
Because.
because the officer that's up for that vehicle is a smaller guy, and he has no issues with getting in and out of the Chargers, so.
As far as I'm concerned, I think that whether it's a pickup or an SUV, I would leave that to the discretion of the mayor and the chief as to what would be better and discussion with the officers, et cetera, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know that I want to pick one or the other.
Price point, what you're saying.
Yeah, we're roughly the same kind of thing, and pickup maybe a little bit more, but not a lot. About the same.
Right.
Although does the pickup include the?
It does include the equipment, but the thing is with that equipment for the Charger, or I'm sorry, with the Ram is, you're not putting as much equipment in that just because it would not be fully outfitted, so.
So it's still roughly the same price, so I guess I don't see, but I'll defer to my colleagues. If you all have a preference on it and you want to make a decision about it, I certainly can be persuaded, but I don't know that.
I think it should be their preference personally.
As long as they keep
Within them.
within that price, huh?
You okay with that, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah. I was just surprised that the policeman would want a pickup truck.
Well, it surprised me a little bit too, but I'm not, I'm not a
Well, that's the first, that's one of the first
Chief
things.
Garrett said he got a used one, he give him, and he'll take the new one.
And that's one thing, when we were talking about this K-9 program, a lot of people are sitting there saying, well, you need a pickup for it. Well, I disagree. I mean, me personally, I've told my guys, as a EVOC instructor and everything like that for emergency vehicle operations, for citywide use, I don't think a pickup is necessary. Now, maybe if we were still picking up bikes once a day or something like that.
That's a good idea.
But
So could we go 3 in 1 then?
well, I would move for approval, for this purchase, you're still talking in 2018, of the proposed, proposals outlined here by the memo from Chief Bridges with discretion as to whether it's a pickup or the SUV to be left to the determination of the mayor.
I'll second.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
thank
see
you.
you next month. Okay, Kathy and Brendan. You're still up.
Kind
We had an issue last month regarding fines for the Board of Zoning Appeals. We had an issue where there was a zoning issue and we needed to fine someone. And speaking with Mr. Tebby regarding, Chris Tebby regarding the fine system, he had me to check with Brendan to see if there was anything on his ticket system that included code enforcement, so we could just write a ticket for a violation of the zoning code versus having Chris to every time send a letter out or us sending a letter out, just automatically having a ticket saying you're in violation of code so-and-so, and then the process would still be the same. You know, it's the penalties would still be what, the Class C infraction, which is anywhere from $25 up to, I think it's $1,000 fine. But it's up to, I think, the city to determine that denomination amount. And in doing so, Brendan didn't have anything, and so kind of working together, we thought maybe it'd be a good idea to somehow start enforcing that or implementing that. And Chris agreed to that he would come up with something, but we needed to bring it up to the Board of Works for discussion or an opinion or to go with it.
Yes, go ahead.
So it sounds like a more efficient way to go about it, as opposed to, I know we had to find before, we'd have, then we eventually to have to enforce it, we have to take it to court. And this would be rather, just say rather efficient, and the process would be pretty in place. The fines though, are defined in the zoning code, correct?
Correct.
And it's determined by the zoning board as to the amount, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So the code would the ticket would just say violation of this, and then I guess you have to come up with either whatever the other wording is for cost, but, intuitively it makes sense to me now. I haven't thought about it before until you brought it up, but I don't know what the others think.
Yeah, I think it's great. It's be uniform that way. Everything is set paper, you know what's going on.
So as far as your request is whether or not the board, or does it need to go to the council, can give approval of that? I mean, how have other code enforcements, I mean, I don't think we've done that on any of the other fines that are outlined in code. They just are put in your
Exactly.
Your code
The code,
manual
right,
and-
and then we've always had the attorney to handle it, and then from there, we've either had to go to court to collect the fines, and, but other cities have, you know, the advantage they have a city court, we do not. Some cities have addressed and created a position that, you know, a Board of Works member, a city council member, you know, the chief of police, whomever, can be the code hearing official and just have a small hearing. They've done it that route, or, you know, or as we're trying to do, just a little fine system that's easier to do rather than to always have Chris to write the letter and.
My question though was, in terms of the other fines that are speeding or running a stop sign or whatever the other violations are that are in your code book that you write a ticket for, has that been something that has been determined by the council, or I don't ever recall it ever being determined by the council or by the Board of Works? And I'm sure that this happened, you know, long before I was born, right, as far as these codes go, but, so I guess my question is, you're asking a consultation, or do we really need to act on it? Are you asking, is this a good idea, would you support it in terms of just
Yes.
getting further counsel, or is it something that we have to make a decision about ourselves, I guess is my question. Because if it's already in the code already stipulates that these fines can be assessed and what the amounts are. All we're doing right on this is just trying to find a way to enforce it, right?
Yes, I think as far as the Board of Works is concerned, it's mainly once we have a form, I guess, just to let you know what the form looks like, to get approval of that for the city to be able to use in the future.
What about with it being a procedure change?
Let me check on that. I'm not sure that we necessarily have anything written procedurally right now.
I don't know either, because I can't recall of any other time where we've changed, we've written a new stop sign place and there's enforcement with it. We've never done anything that, other than that, that's part of the code enforcement and they enforce it that way. So I don't recall us ever having to make any decision about how it's enforced in terms of the process. Makes sense. You know, actually, it cuts down on the amount of time, one, and it cuts down on the amount of cost.
I think it keeps the departments, the different city departments informed as well, that the clerk knows what the money's coming in for, and each department could potentially use the same one.
We really don't need any kind of action.
They're just asking our,
Blessing.
Or-
Yeah.
doing consultation, that's good due diligence.
And you will make up a form? or do you
I'd
have
rather Chris make up the form
Okay.
because
Yeah,
of
we'll
state
work on it.
statutes
Okay.
and such.
Preparing.
one? Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, Mark?
No, Jeff,
Oh,
he wants money.
that's why I skipped it. Jeff Smith.
Yeah, you send me back down without money tomorrow to pay these people, you.
That'll be you.
Okay, I'm bringing before you, payout number 8 for $307,817.70. I figure we probably got about 8 more of these to go.
Same question as always, but you are satisfied
Yeah.
with everything that's,
I review it, our strands, inspectors are every day, he keeps all the amounts of everything coming in, going out, how many people are there, yes.
Still progressing.
Yes, yes, we've got some, a lot of concrete.
We haven't said yes yet.
I'll make a motion. Okay.
Second.
Any other questions? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? No passes.
Thank you, I'll just pick those up at the end.
Okay.
This is the most, the longest. Every invoice so far has been much more than like store equipment.
Oh, okay.
With the percentage they go back. Usually it's just, so we play up front. But they did figures that they started. Yeah, it is. It's yeah, like small amounts back there.
Thanks.
We've done so many.
Okay, Mark, cost camper. Get rid of some old equipment.
We'll start with the contract, that way they can pass it around and sign it. Last Thursday, we received a request for supplemental agreement for Veterans Way Phase 2. As we went through the environmental process, it got backed up a little bit, as you might be aware of. So we had to change our fiscal year for the funds, so that's what this contract's in regards to, is changing that date. It's pretty straightforward. If you happen to look at all in section B, or subsection B under section 5, The big thing is, they're telling you now, is if you don't stay on schedule this time, we might push you out a couple of years and give you money whenever we want to. So it's their way of holding our feet to the fire to get it done now when they want it done.
Which is this next fiscal year,
This is actually for fiscal year
18-19.
correct, which is fiscal year 19,
Right.
as they refer to it. So I only need one copy of it. I'm gonna have 2 of them signed if you would. They wouldn't alter the form for 5 signatories, so the only 3 of you have to sign it.
That includes the mayor.
Any 3 members of the Board of Works.
Oh, okay.
I asked for the possibility of 5 signatories. They said, no, most Board of Works have a membership of 3.
True.
There are 3 county commissioners. We're not altering the form.
That's true.
I said, thank you very much. And Chris has had a chance to review it, and he said it was pretty much straightforward.
Yeah, it looked boilerplate except for
It
the
is.
change in the date. I would move approval of the amendment.
Second.
You want a couple of signatory pages with no holes punched in them for signatures.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. On,
Third council member.
the next item they have there is talked about salt spreader. Mark has already purchased, that's for the salt spreader. It was $9,000. So didn't want to be caught without one, so I went ahead and had him pick
Once we got ready,
order
we
it.
started on the equipment a couple of weeks ago. Chad found one that just was beyond repair. We spoke to the mayor. The quote you have in front of it, if you'll look, is exactly the same as what it was a year ago. The supplier agreed to hold the price and keep it in line. Everybody else had price increases. So that's why you have that. But if you would like to go ahead and approve it, that would be great. If you'd like to see it, I can show it.
And that's a state bid.
No, you don't have to.
I hope you never use it. So, but I didn't want to waste it.
We didn't want to be caught, proverbial saying, with our pants running around because of snow came.
Okay,
The last item is
okay.
You go ahead and purchase.
Second. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The last item is disposal equipment. Our 2018 pickup arrived the other day. We have a 1992 pickup that it's replacing. The salvage yard, we estimated the weight based on the current market price was $180 we estimated. We contacted Burkhardt Salvage. I think that's where Jeff got rid of a piece of equipment. They told us they would give us $350 to take our own truck to market. So I'm asking to do that. At the same time, since I have this new salt spreader now approved, I've got an old one I need to get rid of. So I'd like to dispose of the old spreader. We've robbed what little we can off of it. The rest of it's just gonna simply go across to the wrecking yard and it's gone. So I'd like a motion to dispose of those 2 pieces of equipment.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, also, go ahead. Or wait, they've signed it already?
I'm waiting.
Oh, okay. Just a reminder that I think there was a special Board of Works meeting the 19th at 5 o'clock. I just wanted to make sure you're aware of that. Also, for your information, right in your packet, there should be an ISO thing. We wasn't doing too hot. Kathy got it straightened out, so we were missing some paperwork and stuff there for the rating, so that's why we're so high. But it's back down.
Yeah, back down, better spot. Yeah, well done.
So,